Alright, welcome to the 9th video in our series on making this platformer game. It's been a lot of them, but we're almost done. Just this one and one more left. Today we are going to be working on how to make our enemy move. So here's our snail enemy, and if you notice when I hit play, he just kind of sits there and I don't know what he's doing. Breathing, I guess. I don't know if snails breathe, but I guess they do. We do collide with him, and we flash like we're hurting if we do, which is good. And our guy can also destroy him by jumping and bouncing off of his head. Okay? Wonderful. But we need him to move, because it's pretty easy, right, if he's just sitting there and kind of boring. So, to move him, what we're first going to do is select the snail enemy, and we're going to add a new behavior to what this guy does. So, the behaviors, if you go over here for a snail enemy, we're going to add the platform behavior to it. So right here, platform. So you can run and jump now, or jump and run along platforms. Great. There you go. And so now he has the ability to actually move along a platform. He will detect this platform as being solid and move along it. But what we also want is, now that we've added that behavior, is we're going to change some of the behaviors, or the properties of his behavior, to make him just a little more accessible, let's say. So for max speed, we're going to limit him to 50. And acceleration, we're only going to say is 100. And his deceleration, we'll just put at 500. Alright. And for the rest of these, they should all just be defaults. Fine. Default controls also. Things right here, we want to uncheck that box, because we do not want to control the snail. We just want the AI in our game to control him, which is, again, not very complicated, but still, we don't want to control it. Okay, so we clicked off default controls. Right. What we also need, actually, are things called edge markers. So these are going to be invisible markers on the edges of our platform that keep our snail from falling. Okay, or actually what they do is they will trigger a reverse in his motion, so he won't actually ever walk off the edge. Because we don't want dumb enemies, right? So to do that, make an edge marker. What we're going to do is add a new sprite object. Okay, and the nice thing is we already have just kind of a basic object that we need, so I'm going to put my plus somewhere around here. We could change that later. We're going to go here to load an image again, and the loading, what we're going to load is that player box, that purple box that we've been using for a lot of random stuff, right? Or actually, no, I don't say a lot of random, only one thing, but we've been using it many times. So this is our player box. Okay, if you want, you can change the color with this thing. I don't know, make it green or something like that. That's cool, I guess. Although it might blend in with this background. So maybe let's make it more yellowy. How about red? Red means stop. Yeah. Or reddish. Great. Alright. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to also rename it, again, just to make it clear for us. Edge marker. Alright, there. And now that we have our edge marker, we're going to just leave it where it is right now. And let's see. So to work on our snail, to work on the direction of what direction he's moving, we're going to have to create something called an instance variable. Okay, so click on your snail, go over to the properties bar, and then you should see something called instance variables. Okay, we're going to click on that. We're going to add a new instance variable. And the name of our variable is going to be, what did I name this? I can't remember. Action. That's right. The action of what he's doing. And then the type is going to be a string. So remember, a string is just letters, basically. A string of letters is what we're doing. Okay. Excuse me. And the initial value, the direction that he's moving, is right. So that's our initial value. Alright. You can get out of this. Okay, so now we've got our instance variable. And now we're going to go to the events sheet, because at the event sheet is where we're going to take all that stuff that we just made and put it into play. Alright, so we're going to add an event. Okay, we'll finally have our snail enemy ready. So, for our snail enemy, oh, and in case you're wondering, we didn't need to make a player box for our enemy, or an enemy box, excuse me, because he's not doing very complex maneuvers here. He's just moving left and right, and that's it. So we didn't have to worry about doing that. Okay, even though he does have an animation, he's not making very complex motions. So the snail enemy is our condition, and what we're going to do is go to the conditions and look for the one that says compare instance variable. So let's see, compare instance variable. Here we go, right here. Okay, so we'll click next, and now the instance variable. Which one do we want to compare? Well, the only one we have is action, so we're going to do that, and we're going to say when action is equal to, and then the value we're going to put in, because you could put a string here. The string will be right, because that's what direction we want him to be moving for this condition in this case. Alright. Oh, duh. You need quotes, because it's a string. Alright. Okay, so once we've done that, now we need some actions here. So when his instance variable says right, then the snail enemy is going to move right. So we'll go to snail enemy, and now, because we are not controlling it, but we're simulating control, that is what we got to choose. So here, simulate control, underneath platform, a little orange guy is moving, and we're going to simulate the movement control right being pressed. Alright, obviously, because right, he's moving right, so we want him to go right. Okay. And additionally, actually, we want his picture, right, the image of him, to also not be mirrored. So remember that mirroring thing we did before? The action, as we find, mirror on the wall. Yeah. Did I totally miss it? I must have. Where did you go? Guess I could look it up. There we go. Set mirrored. Okay. State, again, is not mirrored because it's already facing that way. Alright. Now, now he's not mirrored, we have to actually make another event for when he's going left. Okay. So, add event, and the action here is, we are comparing an instance variable. Alright. So compare instance variable. This time we are going to compare action to be equal to, over the quotes, left. Okay. So when he is going, or when his instance variable says left, then we want the snail enemy to, remember, simulate control, or simulate moving left. Alright, so simulate control down here. And control left. Thank you. It's easy. And then again, we're going to set to mirror this time, because we want to mirror the image to be facing the other direction. Okay. And here we go. I don't know why I didn't see that before. Set mirrored. Yes. State is mirrored. Right, there we go. Alright. So, our other event that we're going to do next is to actually mirror, or not mirror, but to cause that when he collides with that edge marker, the enemy is going to switch the instance variable, right? And then that'll call into action these other movement events here. Okay. So basically we're flipping the direction. So to do that, we're going to choose our snail enemy. We will choose on collision with another object. Okay, go to next. And the other object we're going to choose to collide with is this red edge marker that we chose earlier. Okay. Now, when he does that, well, a couple things can happen. He can go from right to left or left to right, but we don't know exactly what direction he's always going to go. So actually, to do this, we're going to need to add our favorite sub-event again. All right. So sub-event. Okay. Now, in the case where he's moving to the right, so we're going to do again comparing the snail enemy. And let's find that compare instance variable. So if he's moving to the right, then we're going to want to switch it. Right? So we're going to add action, snail enemy. And now we're going to go to set variable in the instance variables part. So set value. Sorry. We're going to set his instance variable value to a new value of left. Right? Because we want him to turn around. And there you go. All right. And in this case, we don't have to write a whole other thing like that. We could just use that else statement that we did before. So we're going to right click on the area over here. We're going to go to add an else. Okay. So if it's not in an instance variable value of right, then it must be whatever else might be left, probably. So the action that we're going to add here is just we're now going to set the where is it? Set the value for the enemy, snail enemy, and go to instance variable set value to right. All right. Did I do that? Yeah. Don't want to get my rights and lefts mixed up. Great. Okay. And that hopefully will do it. Let's see. We're going to save this. And now if we play, oh, I forgot I only put one little block here. Let's see what happens if he hits that. Boom. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Let's stop it for here for now, and we'll work on actually getting our edge markers to be invisible and, you know, move them to the edges of all these things in the next one. Because right now, our bad enemy is just going to be like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and see you later. All right. See you next time.